Well, good afternoon to you, and welcome to Vacation Station TV. Driving through Pigeon Forge, and this is what I saw in downtown Pigeon Forge. Fire broke out at Just Stop Toys and Gifts in Pigeon Forge, right across from the big wheel. Hi, what can you tell me happened?
I can't tell you anything.
What burned?
You can see.
What is that?
You can make any statement.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see right there.
Looks like I took out quite a bit of this, the Just Stop Everything on Sale. I've never been here. They specialize in souvenirs and t-shirts. And of course, the fire department and the police department right on the spot. This thing was ablaze by the time I turned around, and the found spot. They were here. These guys were right, Johnny on the. Quite a bit of smoke, a really nasty smell in the air. You could tell the heat was intense enough that it melted all this sheeting here. This galvanized steel must have been very, very intense. You can see the big wheel over there and the mountain monster. This is like right behind Lil Lolly's. And I'm back in this area. This is kind of like a flea market area. There's lots of stores back here, little cubicle stores that people sell stuff in there, like t-shirts, souvenirs, like everything on sale. I've never seen this before. What do we know happened?
I just come from the mountain press. I heard that there was a fire and headed this way, and that's about all I know.
I can't, and the police won't talk to you, of course, because they're not allowed to. I understand that.
They don't really know much of anything more than likely right now, other than whatever they heard when somebody called in the fire.
What was place complete? I know it had like t-shirts and souvenirs. What else was here? Because it looks like there were stores involved.
I have not been back here in so long, I couldn't tell you.
Same here. I've been here 5 years. I've never even been back here.
I'm in my 40s and used to come here as a kid. It's been years since I've been this part of this mall.
Was it a lot like a flea market, enclosed flea market area?
I honestly don't.
You don't remember?
I don't remember this part back here being like it being been small shops. It could have been something like that, but it's more I think more souvenir type stuff like stuff here.
They're still shooting water in there to burn it out. I'm sure whatever storage up there was probably still smoldering, because you can still see things coming up, rise.
Yeah, I mean, this whole wing, both floors are going to be ruined by that water probably, even if there was no fire.
Sure. And the building had buckled right there where the most heat was, so that already there's structural integrity problems.
Yep.
And who are you with?
Mountain Press.
On Vacation Station TV. Didn't even have my cameras with me. I just pulled over and I got to get this. They got a handle on it, though. Fire department was here, and it was moments. Whenever you see, if you're the tourist coming in and you hear a siren or you see a vehicle that is on it, get out of the way. So many people did not get out of the way. And these, a lot of them had to just go up on the side of the road and stuff. You get off the road as soon as you hear them coming. Fire department looks like they're getting either coming out or getting ready to go in there. It's still smoldering quite a bit. Something toxic. Smell it? Bad for those guys. They put their lives on all the time and do this. It's clearing quite a bit up there, as you can see right there, and over here too. Here, smoke still coming out of it. It appears that it originated area right here. This is where most of the damage is. You can see the structural damage, melting of the twisting and buckling of the metal. Had to been extremely intense. The heat itself, and it couldn't be just the building. I'm sure with the smell that's in the air, there's a real plastic burning smell, rubber, that type of odor in the air, kind of just. And of course, casting live at Vacation Station TV. Looks like they're getting ready to go in and check something out up there. Smoke is really thick right now. I'm sure they're going to be forced to throw some more water up there. It appears this part of the building doesn't. I'm sure the smoke damages beyond repair, but it looked like I said, this area looks like where everything seems to have started and intensified. There's lots of glass, metal, so it obviously it out, and you can see debris all along the parking area there. And now the fire department it looks like they're getting geared up to go in. There's some more of the firefighters. They've got their oxygen, their masks. They're geared up. They're in there. I don't know if anybody is in there, and I'm sure that's where that station is now, to see if anybody was in there, and assess the damage and determine maybe where this thing started. Was it electrical? That we won't know for a while, probably several days. It appears, I don't know how much you can see that, but there's the T-shirt. Well, you see the T-shirts hanging from the walls on the outside. So that business was open for business, now closed for business. This is indeed that this type happens in the Pigeon Forge area. Rarely do we have fires here of any magnitude. There's always these types of fires that fire out every once in a while, but nothing like this. So this will be big doings in town this will be the talk of the town for several days over the next several. So of course, stay tuned to Vacation Station TV. Fire department is starting to go inside the building there. Lots of smoke, and it smells really, really bad, very toxic indeed. Lots of rubber, lots of plastic material. You can just smell it all in the air. It's the air. Probably quite intense in that building. And being the outside structure of the building is made of block and rock, that must have contained the heat considerably. The roof being metal, you can actually see the roof had buckled. I know the smoke is blurring your vision, but it is very buckled. That whole area is where everything broke, and the heat was so intense that it buckled metal in the front, going up, and most likely the roof itself had all sorts of inventory in it. So that's why they were spraying water up. That's why they peeled back this part of the roof. The fire department had open, and then they'll shoot water in there because this thing would smolder for hours and hours. Broadcast live on Vacation Station TV. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Whatever I find out, I will pass on to you. Always hit that subscribe button so you get the latest information. Hit that notification bell But when I post up more about this, you'll be the first to know what's going on. There is no one else out here but Mountain News, which is right on the spot, and there is no one else here. So what you're seeing is pretty much what the fire department seeing, the police department, the hierarchy of the fire department and police department, and myself and the Mountain News. Oh, that's small. That's thick. I can imagine they're going to need to shoot some more water in there. It's probably kicking back up. This is what I used to do for a living, my friends. When I was news director at MFQ and MFUOCA, I would go out and find the latest stories, and I would get there first. The name of the game is beating everybody else there. Looks like they're getting ready. This guy is gearing himself up in the water tanker and probably going to shoot up there. I'm thinking. And as you can see, they're hooked up to the fire department connection, the yellow hose, so they can pump the water into the tanker here and then shoot it up through the hole up there to keep the flames at bay. Fire department is probably going to go in with their hose now, strapping it over their back. It'll take 2 to 5 guys to go on there. There's a man that sprays and the others guide the hose touch each other. They have each other's back. This is true teamwork, team being here. See, the danger that these gentlemen have to deal with is they don't know if there's anything explosive in there that the heat is bringing to a point, so they have to constantly keep their eyes open with the minimum of vision, and they have to determine, is there anything toxic in there, anything flammable that could burst in their face, especially when they start shooting water. You know what happens when you throw hot water on anything cool or wet? It comes back at you. So these guys, they have their hands full. These guys are fantastic. These are the heroes. Right here, you're looking at. Look. If I could get closer, I would. Got everything already police taped off. I get as close as I possibly can, and then I even lean in a little bit more. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And when you hit that bell, I'll know, and you'll know the moment that I post something else. You'll get it first before anybody else. dragging more hose into the building. You can see a lot of the smoke is now dissipating. They're tearing off sheet from the sides of the building. I know it's hard to see, but I'll try to explain it to you. They're in this little alcove, the firemen with their long tool that has a pick at the end of it, a point, and then where they can reach in and pull the sheeting off the wall, see if there are any hot spots. And that's what they're doing now. When you find it, if you can hear it, you'll hear the water spraying on it to put it out, and then they work their way through the building to find the hot spots. Smoke is very dark. So there's definitely plastics in there. I mean, you just imagine all the things that you would souvenir shop: toys made of rubber and plastic, t-shirts, all the knickknacks, the plastic cups, and all the things that you would find in a souvenir shop. That's all melting. Not good for the lungs. They're the tools that they use. It's got an axe, a pick, and that tool that I was telling you about. One end is curved, one is straight, so they use it to stab, and then the other end to pull it out. If you live in Pigeon Forge, and even if you're visiting here, these are the gentlemen you should send a note to the Pigeon Forge Fire Department and thank them for being here so fast and doing such a good job. They were here and out like ants, coming out, and they raced around and did everything the way that they should. Very professional. And they went in and got this thing before it engulfed. This is a very, very large building complex. It's this and what you see here. If you can't really see, it goes all the way across there. If you go past this building with your vision, it goes all across the parking lot, and it's all connected. And if this thing would have gotten out of control, this whole be ablaze right now. They did before it got out of control. Send them a thank you, an attaboy, and tell them that they're the heroes that they are. Still quite a bit of smoke coming out of there, and I think they're not them disturbing stuff, and it catches flame, it ignites, and then the guy in there with the hose will but they make their way. It's actually hurting my throat. This smoke. there are firemen going front of this building here, where the just stopped everything on sale store is, and they're going to make their way in there. They're trying to break these walls over here, get behind it. That smoke is really bad. I've got to move from this smoke. It is nasty. Whew. I'm sorry I wasn't looking at the Dan the Man. Where is it? It's in Pigeon Forge, Dan, right almost across the street from the big wheel. In fact, a picture of that here. There's the big wheel right behind there. There's a Mountain Monster Fire Department here. Comedy Barn is over there. And what I was saying before is this complex, look how big this complex is. It goes all the way around in a horseshoe, all the way back to the road behind South 66 South. This is, I don't remember the name of the street. It goes to the post office. But they got hoses everywhere because this building here just stopped everything on sale. It's just stopped souvenirs. This is apparently where the fire started, in this building, and traveled that way. It's obviously started traveling back, and it's nasty. The roof buckled from the heat. You can see how it's bent. That's not what it was. This thing has just been buckling, and there's men inside there. And this thing could collapse at any time, I would think, because the heat. It compromised the structure itself. The smoke is really nasty. It's funny to not let anybody in here. Somehow, I'm perimeter, and nobody said anything to me. So I'm very thankful for that. So I can pass this stone to you. Well, I could really plastic burning and rubber. It's really pungent out here. I'll probably have a lung infection, but I'm doing it for the station. I'm doing it for the children. All the chiefs are out. All the are out here assessing this situation. It went up quick, guys, ladies and gentlemen. It went up quick. I was driving by with Marie, and there was a small plume of smoke coming out, and I'm going, looks like there's a fire. There hadn't even been anybody here yet. And by the time we turned around and got back here, they were here. I didn't even hear the sirens. They were here. here, and they were putting it out, already engulfed this side of the building. Damage too. But these guys, man, they were here. This is at the Just Stop Toys and Gifts in Pigeon Forge. Trying to find. There's so many, almost across from the bottom. That's the closest I can get you. All the other little stores are just too little for you to use as a landmark. But where the Comedy Barn is, just go across from the island, and just come down a little ways. You'll see the tile red buildings. Well, it's like they've got most everything under control. I think we're cool. What happened? Just go to the video. Where is this? It's in the Smokies, the Pigeon Forge. And here's the other side of the building. To show you this, here's the back of this building. This complex is very big. And if that flame would have played leapfrog, which is what I believe they could prevent. That's why they had so many vehicles out here. Some of them have already left. They had just flooded with vehicles, and these guys came out. I mean, you can see how many there are, and there's a bunch of them in the building, in front of the Just Stop Toys and Gifts. But there's many on standby here, and they had other trucks all around here. Because there is a breeze in the air. If you look at the breeze, there's enough of a breeze where if there's a fire, it's going to kick up, and there could also be some sparks that over. Now, granted, those are metal, but it doesn't take but one spark to start a fire. Especially when you have like T-shirts hanging out of the building. If there's a swirling, especially with a fire, you get the thermals to swirl, and they could carry these hot ashes to another building under these places and start hopscotching over the places. That's what they prevented. So, make sure you write to these guys and whatever it is, and say, job well done. They're already putting away some of the hoses. They realize they control, so that's excellent. But you can see where we are. This is Smoky's Furniture. This is another part of the complex. This is connect that. There's more fire trucks in the wait, just sitting here in case they're needed. Rescue people here, and they're well prepared. And these guys know what they're doing, and proud of them for this. It makes me feel good that if there's ever a problem, these guys are going to be there. They're not galley. They were in here at such full fast. My goodness, if we could just get the post office to work that quick. Oh, we probably should get the post office some Neosporin. Ooh, that got them good, didn't it? Good front look of the Just Toys and Gifts, Just Stop Toys and Gifts. You can see the smoke still. That's what I saw coming out when we went by. And I told Maria, it looks like a fire there. Nobody was here. Nobody. It was a little bit darker. The smoke was a little bit darker enough where I could see it from the car. And it looks like a fire. And by the time we turned back, went down the street, because I turned back, these guys were already here. But the whole place was engulfed. It went up very, very fast. I'll give you another. Here's another perspective. You can see how big the complex is. This building is connecting to that building, and all these buildings are connected. Every single one of them are all connected. So a lot of these people that have businesses here, I hope they're appreciative that the fire department did their job. Well done, gentlemen. I'm sorry I have to use my cell phone. My equipment brought it back. I was done doing my videotape and figured, well, I don't need anything else. I got what I wanted. Stupid Jeff. I should have always keep my handy. Well, there you go. Amazing. I just figured to see that and what's going on here in Pigeon Forge. And one thing that you can be sure of is, the fire department, the police department on the job. What they do, that's protecting the tourist people that live here. We're happy for that. I want to thank you all for joining me. Vacation Station TV. Remember to like and subscribe, and do that right now while you're thinking about it. And also hit that notification bell, because I'm going to post up videos, and then you'll be informed immediately when something else. When I get more information, I will be more than glad to pass that on. Thanks for joining us in Station 2, and we'll see you again very, very soon.